The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Good afternoon, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters out there. Welcome to the Tom O'Brien Show. I'm your guest host, Steve Rhodes, filling in for Tom one more day while he is on his way back from the Hard Asset Show. Well, he might not be on a plane just yet, but he is on his way back from New York. He will be back here tomorrow, and thanks so much for joining us, folks. You know, I absolutely love doing this. For me, this is great. I get to start off TFNN each and every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. If you haven't heard that show, you can always catch an archive of that show at Tiger TV. Go to Channel 9. You'll hear the archives of that show. And if you, if you're just driving to work, maybe you're at work and you've got a earplug in one ear and you can hook up to Tiger TV on your iPhone, maybe your Google device, your iPad. Folks, you can listen in on one ear and see exactly what the markets are doing. I absolutely will give you the direction that the markets are headed. The markets today, that direction was headed south. You had the Dow finished down 63 points. You had the S&P off about almost 7.6 points. You had the composite down 8.8. You had the Russell down just about 2 points. Russell not too bad on the way down. New York Stock Exchange, and we're going to talk about that, down $69, finishing out at 78.35. The NDX off about 10 points. You had the King Dollar. King Dollar on the move today. No rest for the King. And hopefully Tom brings the King back. And we've got our Go Long America shirt on right now. The King Dollar up 65 ticks. That is creating some convulsions in the marketplace. Gold trading down $19 out at $15.42. Silver off 68 cents out at $27.65. Light sweet crude down $1.51. It's getting a little bit cheaper at the pumps. Light sweet crude trading out at $93.27. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. Would absolutely love to hear from you. You know, folks, direction absolutely determines your destination. You know, many of you are driving home. If you're driving home, folks, be very safe. But direction determines your destination. Now, questions, folks. Questions control your focus. So here's a question. I want to start off by asking you a question, or maybe this is a question that you should be asking yourself each and every day. And that's real simple. Are the disciplines that you're currently engaged in, are your disciplines taking you to where it is that you want to go? See, to me, I think that's probably one of the most important questions that you can ask yourself each and every day. You don't want to kid yourself about the answers to that, and you certainly don't want to be crossing your fingers hoping that you're going to arrive at your destination, whether it's the stock market that you're trading or anything else in life. Make sure that you've got the right disciplines in place to take you to your direction. You know, and if you're not headed in the right direction, folks, then don't try to change the direction of the wind. That would be like trying to change the direction of the stock market wind. You don't need to change the direction. All you need to do is to set your sail and let the wind be the power. So speaking of the power, we're going to start off right here with the New York Stock Exchange. You know, I talked about it yesterday. I want to go through it again today. We'll do it in the beginning of this hour. We'll do it in the beginning of next hour. What I take a look at, and this is the longer term, because I know 70+% of the people that are listening are managing their long-term money. And so I want to be able to help you set your sail. I want to be able to give you a guideline, a tool that you can use on you don't need to be any kind of technician in order to be able to use this tool. This is the 50-day and 200-day moving average. Now, because we're looking at a monthly chart, if you're watching me on Tiger TV, I'm looking at the New York Stock Exchange monthly chart. So we've got to convert the formula from a 50-day into a monthly day. So, for example, if we were looking at a weekly chart, a 50-day, there's 5 trading sessions in the week, right? So 50 divided by 5, we would go ahead and change our factor to 10 inside the chart. Well, since it's a monthly chart, there's roughly a little bit over 21 trading days on average each month. So you take 50 divided by 21, that would give you a number 2.3 and some change. 200 days divided by 21.6, you would get 9.2. So that is what is being used here when we take a look at the exponential moving average. Now, in the New York Stock Exchange today, we take a look at when the 50-day, that's the blue line that you're taking a look at here on the chart, when that crosses through, from my perspective, from a long-term cash management standpoint, you want to be out of the market. Well, right now, on the New York Stock Exchange, you're at 78.24. The 200-day is up above it at 78.49. Why do I say that? It has nothing to do with my opinion. My opinion, I leave at the door. I just simply let the charts prove to you prove to me what you should be doing. If you go back, and we'll just take a couple of points here, because then we're going to go to the Dow, because you got the same crossover in the Dow as well. If we take a look at back in 2007 at the highs, if you were using this very, very easy principle to grasp and to understand and to be able to apply it to your charts, you would have been out of the market in the December 2007 timeframe. The market in the New York Stock Exchange would have been up somewhere around 97.50 or so. Folks, you would not have ridden it down all the way to the lows in March of 2009. You would have been looking at it. Maybe, in your funds, you don't have the ability to go short, but you do have the ability to invest in the King dollar. There's nothing like that. And, you don't want to ride the market down. I don't want you to do it again. I'm not going to guarantee you where the market's going to go. The winds are going to change, but when the winds change, that's when you come back into the market. You have an option to go to cash at any point in time when you have some uncertainty. Well, if you've got some uncertainty, just simply go to a stock chart. And maybe, your stocks are in the S&P 500. We'll take a look at that. Maybe your stocks are in the Dow. If we go take a look at the Dow right now, we'll pull up the monthly chart on the Dow, and what you'll see here as we pull this up on the screen in the Dow, and I don't have the chart here. I'm going to do a special report that goes back to 1929 so that each of you can see that. But right now, at the close today, you had the 50-day exponential moving average at 12,679. Again, this is a monthly, so this one here, it kind of zooms along. I don't like this being too much of a lagging indicator. You've got 12,732 on the 200-day. If you take a look at this chart here, same thing on the Dow. You would have been out in December of 2007. You would not have written it down. You would now. Because it's a lagging indicator, folks, you wouldn't have gotten it in March 6, 2009 like I did. Those are leading indicators. We absolutely teach you how to use those leading indicators. In fact, I'm going to be doing a workshop this coming Friday. So if you're a trader or investor, and it's really all about being able to buy and sell the D point, and we'll take a look at King Dollar in a minute because it works on every chart, every time frame. Doesn't matter whether it's monthly, weekly, daily, or intraday. Doesn't matter whether it's a currency, a future, a commodity, an ETF. It always works, folks. And when it doesn't give you information, you just sit there and wait for the pattern to complete itself. If you go back into 2003, you'd have gotten back. This year, folks, when you've got this crossover, either crossing through to the downside and you're going to get out, or crossing over to the upside, you're going to catch the majority of the move. You're not going to catch, the very tick on the bottom or the tick on the top, but you don't need to do that. So you've got the Dow that's crossed over. The S&P, if we have another down day tomorrow, and I'll pull up the S&P right now, you're going to have the same thing on the monthly chart. Why? Because if we take a look at what the numbers are, the numbers on the S&P, on the 50-day, you're taking a look at 1354, and on the 200-day, you're looking at 1325. Maybe it doesn't happen tomorrow with a down day, but it's getting real close to giving you a signal in the S&P 500, the Dow 30, and the New York Stock Exchange, even more important because that is the breadth of the market. And what's it all about? It is all about King Dollar. ABCs, let's just simply, if you take a look at the chart here, you're looking at a daily chart. You're looking at the uptrend coming all the way back here into August 29th, 2011. So take a look at an ABC. We'll just simply start with the swing point. That's where you just simply, I call those major intersections, just like when you're driving home, it's those lights that you're coming to, and you might turn. In this case here, the markets will turn. Well, the market turned from the low in August 2009, was at 73.57, moved all the way up into the time frame October 4th. That's an important day. We're going to talk about that. When it got up to 80.43, moved all the way down into that trend line, down into October 27th. Another important day for us to be taking a look at when it traded out at 74.86. Look at that. A to B equals C to D. Took you up to 81.73. King Dollar actually got up to 81.86. Folks, that's a beautiful thing. You want to understand how to buy and sell the D point. Why? Because the dollar index pulled back here. What's the new A to B equals CD? That's where we're going to start off with down at March 1st. King Dollar down at 78.69, all the way up to the high on March 15th, and then the low that was put in here on April the 30th, May the 1st. You are seeing that King Dollar is headed to 81.85. You're at 81.42 right now. You want to learn your ABCs, folks, and A is the real key part. Because if the markets are a mystery, just change that Y to an A. I'll teach you how to master the markets. We'll be right back, folks. 877-927-6648. Dow down 63 points today.